everybody, I'm Peter Bent Archibald and I'm your host today. And this is your show, How Much Do You Know? Come on, get on the bus and let's go for a tour through the history of the island. I have questions. Do you have answers? How much do you know? How much do you know about our people, about our customs, about our places, about our land and seas? How much do you know about yourself? Today we have one of the professors that have been with us. We have Professor Linacio Myles with us. And he have been training one of the group that participate in this program. And we want to greet Professor Linacio and ask him about his experience in this program, in this matter. Professor Linacio, how do you describe your experience in this program, participating here?
Yes, good evening. It's very pleasant and it's a privilege for me to be part of this project. Very interesting project. As my brother Ben said, is a project, is a pedagogical project in which all of us will learn. And I have been one of the teachers that learned a lot with the short time that I have been working with some of my students. Is a great joy for me to go back, way back into our past and to learn a lot of things that I did not really know, by the way. So this project have been a real knowledge for me, and it has been a real knowledge for our students. I know they enjoyed a lot. As a teacher, I always says that students enjoy, whenever they enjoy things, they learn a lot more. And I know with these few weeks that I have worked with them, they have learned a lot. And I also have learned a lot, Brother Ben.
Professor, one of the things that I noticed when we were just getting things together is that the youth, they have been reluctant. You know, they were, I don't know if to say they were scared, I don't know if to say they were doubtful or what, but I mean, we had, we could say we had a hard time to get the youth that we wanted to participate. What would you, after going through and complementing this project, what would you tell the youth in order, you know, about that reluctance that they would have to participate in this?
Yeah, well, working with teenagers, we know that they are, and not only teenagers, but even youth and adults are always scared to changes because they do not know what will come out of it. I will let them know that when they get deep into history, when they get deep into knowledge and to know the background, where they came from, what we have been through for a long time and the different changes now. Because our teenagers right now, they are adapted only to what they are seeing now. It was surprising for me. It was surprising for me when I start working with my youth, as you said, and they do not know a lot of things. They do not know a lot of things where we came from, a lot of things that we had before, a lot of things that we were used to before. They are not aware of it. And unfortunately, many of the times in the school, they do not get the knowledge of where they came from. So I will encourage our youth because, as we said, it's the first series. And we know that there are more to come, and I hope that there will be more to come because I know that our people will start change, our young people will start change their mentality of what San Andres is now and what San Andres was before. And that's, I believe this is the main project of this, the project that we have, is that our youth know where we were before. and so they won't be afraid for the changes, because many of them do not know what the project was all about, what knowledge they will get out of the project. But I know when we start this and people start to watch this project and what is going on, I know that those that are coming wouldn't be so afraid like the first group. I guess it's because it's the first group and they don't know much about what they were going through. But I know those that will come behind will be prepared in order to face this.
Okay, about the questions and answers and that part of it. Do you really think that the adults they know the things that we are asking? I mean, do you think that the mass of adults know or these things?
Well, it might sound a little funny, but I did not know many of the answers for the question, and I know if I am a teacher, I'm a Raisal, I'm a Creole man. I lived San Andres all the day of my life, and I did not know. Then I guess many of our adults, they do not know. They do not know really a lot of the things. And I think this is the moment for us as adults. I wish that when this project and when this series start to be on the TV, they will get around the TV. I invite them to get around the TV and learn a lot of things, because I know that many of you that are right there, you do not know a lot, and I enjoy trying to get out the answers, because I thought I knew, and I discovered that I did not know many of the things that you asked, or that we asked on this program.
You did not know many of the things, and you think like myself, or like how we discovered then that a lot of adults don't know these things either, and the kids they don't know it either. Then what importance does it have? Because I mean, if nobody know it, then maybe it's not important, right? Or is it important, so we have to grasp more things, we got to work on knowing more things?
Of course, it's important, very important. It's important for me, and I know it will be important for you that are watching this or that are listening, because many of our young people, and even, well, unfortunately, many of you that are watching this and listening did not get the knowledge either. So unfortunately, our young people won't get that knowledge. But I think it's very important that we get back to our history. You that are listening, get back to your history, discover a lot of things. Sometimes you talk to, as a teacher, sometimes I talk to students and I tell them, that once I could just leave my house open and sleep until 2-3 days, and nobody will go to my house, and it's surprising for them. It's a surprise for them, because the world that they are living in now, or that we are living in now, we can't do many of the things, or a lot of the things that we used to do before. So for our young people, a lot of things that a lot of knowledge that they gain is great for them, because in one of the questions I remember, when we said to our young people, or I start to them and say, that in San Andres, I can say personally, I used to buy truckload of coconut and sell it, and they said it's not true. Because unfortunately today we can't find any coconut. But I live, we can't even find one. Yeah. So, but I live that, and I try to, and many of the things that came up, I try to explain them. And for them, it was very difficult to believe. So I know it's very, very important. You parents, start teaching them. Take a time and just sit down with them and laugh and let them know some things that we used to have that we do not.
Would you say the things that we are exposing here is useful? I mean, it's useful for youth and for adult and for whoever?
It's more than useful for them. Just to know that you can walk the street with your cell in your hand, with your money in your hand, and nobody fast with you, is a gainance and is useful. Unfortunately, we have to be hiding everything because we have no freedom to walk the street like we used to do. So if this is very useful for all of us to get back and to gain knowledge of how we San Andreas were before. Very useful.
Okay, Professor, we are going to show something right now, a piece of what we're going to do to what we're doing here to the people, and then we'll come back and continue in this chat, okay? Mr. Elian, we're going through the same thing. We have some other questions and things, but we're going back through the same things. So now is on your chance. Every one of you have the chance because you heard all the answers already. There are some questions here, of course, that you didn't hear the answer, but not that much. He wrote a message concerning the danger of drugs and hung it on the front of his house. What was his name, Elian? Kenya.
Pastor Noel Corpus.
Movement right here. Pastor Noel Corpus wrote a message concerning the danger of drug and hung it on the front of his house. Elian, what was the content of the message? What did the message say?
Drug is a killer.
Drug is a killer is good. Mr. Angelo. Angelo say, I'm nervous. Well, that's good. That's okay. In what year was the archipelago elevated to department by the Constitution of Colombia? In what year was the archipelago elevated to department by the Constitution of Colombia?
1991.
You asking me something, right? And I think I was asking the questions.
1991.
1991, it was right, Angelo. Ah. Okay, now we're back here. We're talking with Professor Linacio, and we're talking about this first approach to this program that we know it is important, and we hope you give that importance to it also. Talking to Professor Linacio, we can understand that indeed there is a lack of the of material, I would say, I think. Because I think children learn what you teach them. But, I mean, could this material that we used here in order to put this contest together, could this material be useful in your school, I mean, in the schools here in San Andres?
I after some program at the radio station, just to answer your question, because we have a program that normally you would make like contests, sometimes riddles, sometimes question about the island, and I was kind of looking for that material just to get some of the questions to take to the program and also to take to the school. At the school right now, I'm working in English, and also I work religion in the school. But I was looking for this material because this material is so important, and unfortunately, I did not get back. I can't find my copies, and I hope to get back that copies because it's very useful. And I know that Teacher Gladys is supposed to have it. She works a lot with or Raisal, dancing and so forth. So This material, I wish all of you in your house right now will just have this material. It's not a long material. It's not something that you have to spend almost a week, 2 weeks. I think in 1 week you can run over it and get the knowledge that you need. But it's a very useful material to teach your child in the house, to teach in the school, to teach in the church. Why not? To teach all over, because this material has some information that we need to work on to get back San Andres to where it was before.
Okay, one of the things that we noticed there is that there were a few questions like about maths, for example.
Yeah.
And they were not like tough questions, not algebra or trigonometry or something like that. But the questions, some of them were they did not even get the answer. What is happening there, Professor?
It's sad to say, but unfortunately, again, our students are students that they do not take time. And we notice in the class, they do not take time to think and to figure out things. They always want to rush. And I think many of the strategies, I'm not saying anything wrong against mathematics teacher because they're great teacher, but our students are not students that if you just change something, they will get, they are just focused on one way of teaching or one way of getting the knowledge, because I do not like mathematics, by the way. I'm not so good on mathematics, but those questions put me to laugh because they were so easy, and our students just seems like they could not get it together. So I encourage our mathematics teachers. I know they're great teachers, so try to kind of change up everything, put it like a problem so that students will try to figure out the problem. Probably it can be because of the time that they had, which didn't exist. We did not exist a lot or a little bit of time. But right there, we had our mathematics teacher was there with us in that Adel Christopher. He was with me there. I invited him to come and was to just sit there. And he was kind of surprised as well to see that those we call it problems that you put in mathematics, our students just were not able to get it.
Okay, we are going to show you this also. We're going to show you this, what is said here by one of our guests that is helping us to get over the history to you. We'll come back right away.
Mauricio Magnis Piusi was my husband. He was born in the city of Barranca Bermeja. His father and mother went there to work, Ecopetrol, and the three of them, the three children that they had, was born there. He studied in Bogotá in the Universidad La Gran Colombia, and he finished there as attorney at law. When he was in the city of Bogotá, I think it's 1969, a commission from San Andres went up to, he was working at the Ministerio de Trabajo, and a commission from San Andres went to Bogotá looking for somebody to occupy the job as national promoter of Acción Comunal. Well, that time we didn't marry as yet, no, but I know because I was working in Acción Comunal down here in San Andres, Adonorin, and that commission get him nominated as first promoter of Acción Comunal in the island of San Andres. So he came down and worked with Acción Comunal from that time, and he worked a while with them. And then after that, well, he come out and was working as attorney, attending, he had an office and he was attending anybody would go and look for him to make. So after that, well, he got into politics and when the Incora came down to San Andres, he did a wonderful job in that Incora. They was declaring San Andres Baldío, and he recopilated a lot of documents and showed that San Andres wasn't a land of Baldíos because plenty people had documents and had position over their land. So he took up in Cartagena a lot of documents here in San Andres, and the fight it was him and two next lawyer from Medellin, and them fight it, and well, so far everybody know about that fight that Mauricio put down here in San Andres, and that was a heavy work, but anyhow, and anything come up that San Andres was involved, let's say them trying to do something against to the people of San Andres, he always pending, he always there to work for the people. I could remember when a man by the name of Joka, I don't know him, was at the Rose Key, and the national government made some type of business there with a German man, and they were trying to throw out Joka off the key, and he picked up that case and went to Bogota on his own, and he said, no way, that key is for San Andres, and it can a German can't get that, and like so. And right now, well, that key is in the hands of San Andres right now. And if we should mention all the different things that come up, and he always there pending, Jaime is a lot. I'll have to take up all those papers that we have upstairs there and read up and then give you all kind of details. Mauricio working for the people. I could tell you, when he was on his dying bed, he was always inquiring something about San Andres, when he was in Barranquilla. He always inquiring what new down there, what new in San Andres, what taking place. He died with San Andres problem on his mind.
Okay, we're back right here now. This is How Much Do You Know? How much do you know? I think you already know some more. You learned something here from what Professor Linacio have been saying. And we're going to learn a lot more. One thing with teachers that who are not teachers don't know is that teachers learn as much or more than students. It's teaching is a process of learning together. Yeah, so that is very important that you out there, that you know that when you sit there with your family and when you see some of these things, you are going to discuss it. You are going to discover it. You might even have an argument, a strong discussion over it, because people don't like changes, like what Professor Linacio said earlier today. And then you believe in something, you believe in this is so, and then when you come to find out, when you come to hear that, no, it's not so, you might resist to accept it. But, so there are a lot of things to learn, and we're going to learn a lot of things. So, Professor, this last segment that we are covering here with you, we want to thank you for your dedication in that exercise, because that took some time also and some dedication, and we want to encourage you to keep on moving this kind of information around. You said that you do not have a copy, and you can be sure I'll get a copy to you some way, of this material. I don't have any restriction on it. Well, I mean, you cannot use it commercially, but for teaching or for the church or for wherever, welcome. And the next thing that I want to compromise you here on camera is that you two will be building, a history, questions and answers, so that when we come to the second part of this program, or when we come to another series of this program, it will be richer. I think the methodology that we have there is of variety. We did not want really to specialize on one area, but just a variety of things that are important indeed. Some of the things, some of the people are going, well, doesn't seem important to them, but they are to other people. So we just want to really cover you up. We want to make sure that you have fun. And that is the last question I have for Professor Linacio. So we did have fun doing the recording of this program.
Well, I enjoy it 100% with the students that I had, the students that I was training. It was not easy for me. I was kind of really busy, but after I started the first time, I started gaining a lot of knowledge, and I said, well, I have to keep to this until the end, because it's not only the students that are learning, but I am learning a lot. I want to sincerely thank you, those that work with the project, for considering me part of this project. As I said, I enjoyed the first day with the kids, and I enjoyed 2 days that we were recording at there. I was like watching a basketball game, and every time my team miss, I kind of hate, and every time my team put in, I kind of, because I was like really emotional to learn so much things about our background, so much things that used to be happen before. I was part of some, but a lot of them I was not part of it. So as I said, I enjoyed a lot. I know you two are going to enjoy it when this when the hit come out. I know that you are going to enjoy it. You are going to be around your TV, and you are going to be there answering. Even from you will think that we are listening to you when you are on your TV answering, but I know you are going to like it, because a lot of you that are watching this, you are going to be there, and you are going to say, thank God I was part of this good time. I'm not saying that we are not in a good time. No, I know that a lot of things have to fix again, but I can say thank God I was in the nice time where I enjoy a lot of things, and just to run over it and to answer these questions bring back joy again to me, to know that San Andres was San Andres before, and I hope with this program San Andres can become the San Andres that we really had before.
Thank you very much for coming, Professor Linacio. And I want to give a special thanks to Secretary of Education, Ridley Huffington, for his interest in this program. And to let you know out there why I am so, I stress on that, because I have presented this program to many, many, many Secretary of Education. I've presented this project to, I have 15 years or 16 years presenting this project. And they just, did not answer to it. None of them there in education. Everyone said it was good, but they did not answer to it. But from the moment I presented this to Dr. Ridley Huffington, he was well well happy and enthused, and and he said, yes, we're going to work this. And also the governor, the governor had to really say yes. The governor is who really ordered to these kind of things. So I'm thankful for that, and I bless you. And we are going now for a brief break, and then we'll come back to mash up this right here.
Okay, Max Newball was an important sport leader in the island of San Andres. I think before he was a basketball player, and afterward he started on some kind of business. So I don't know, finally I think that he got killed in some part of Antioquia, something like that. That's the information that I have about him.
The first governor designated by President Cesar Gaviria was this man.
Kent Francis James.
Kent Francis James is correct. Simon Gonzalez Restrepo, Elian, was the first governor elected by the people of the archipelago. In which year? Angelo? Abelardo?
Please repeat question.
Simon Gonzalez Restrepo was the first governor elected by the people of this archipelago. What year it was?
19. The governor and intendant.
Governor.
Oh, 1992.
1992 is correct. Movement. Elian. The second governor now. Remember, Simon was the first governor to be elected. The second governor, who is not Rizal, not the second governor that was elected, the second governor who is not Rizal, to be elected in this archipelago was this man.
Ronald Hosney.
Ronald Hosney is correct. Kenya. Mr. Leslie Mafia Bent was removed from the governor office before his period was up. This man replaced him.
Frederick Lieber.
You asking me something?
Frederick Lieber.
I don't accept questions. Abelardo. Angelo.
Thomas O'Neill.
Elian. That man was Silvio Casagrande. It's the same question, the same questions. According to the Instituto Geográfico Agustín Codazzi IGAC, what is the maximum height, Miss Kenya, of the island of San Andres?
86 meters.
86 meters is correct. And according to the same Instituto Geográfico, Mr. Abelardo, the extension of Providence Island is?
Extension.
Yep, the extension.
Wait, wrong. It's 23. Fine.
Angelo?
21 point. Wait, Providence.
Yep. Is that he
Providence
said?
at 21.3.
That is correct. 21.3. What important facility of public use is located at the foot of the Harmony Hall Hill? You got the question? What public place, okay, is located, the public use, mean everybody, the whole public use it, is located at the foot of the Harmony Hall Hill? Abelardo. Elian.
Cemetery.
Hey, I mean, I don't accept questions.
Cemetery.
The cemetery, okay. Yeah, just before we go to the project of How Much Do You Know, we want to talk to Professor Linacio about his venture in radio, because Professor have been alternating his time in radio also. And I think you have a program on Wednesday or something like that. You do a program with some youth. Is that correct?
Yeah, you used to have it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I have been in the radio for almost, I'll say, almost 10 to 15 years since I started working at the First Baptist School. I was just working at the First Baptist School and working at the radio station on Sundays. After working on the radio station on Sunday, I had a program with Brother Harrington McNish. We used to have a program on, I think it was on Wednesday. And then recently, I think it was last year, I had a program that is called School Time. I think most of you hear that program. That program was with Adele and myself. We had that program on Sundays. So I've been working as operator almost the time, but I also had a program or two programs on the Good News radio station. And that's where I keep working until now. I work every Sunday as from 2 until 10.
Yeah, you're like a fill-in man there, right?
Yeah, like a
yeah. For vacation and things like that, you are there.
I always work on Sunday. Sunday is my day to work, but when I'm on vacation, then I work every day.
Okay. And how is your experience in radio? I mean, what do you get from that?
Well, radio is a powerful tool. You have to be very careful when you are working on radio. I know when you are radio, most of the people, if you have a program, most of the people are listening to you. And if you are operating, then you know you are the man that is controlling the whole system. Nothing can come out or go in if you do not permit it. But working in the radio is a nice experience. Is good to know and then change from what you always do and then do something different as long as you have the possibility and the knowledge to do it. So I have been blessed working on radio. Most of the time you don't hear me. As I said before, my function is to operate, handle the system. But sometimes I on the radio talking and people will find me and hear me and see me along the way and they say, I hear even people that I don't know. But they know me because, people calling you Linacio on the radio. Yeah. And even sometimes you hear people on the radio, on the road, they say, school time. Sometimes I don't even remember that I have a program that is called School Time, but you hear people, they don't even call you by your name, it's called you School Time because that's how radio goes, okay?
Yeah, and have radio been? Have your experience with the radio been a bonus for your teaching?
It helps me a lot in my teaching. It inspires me a lot. Most of the time I'll take, when I go to classroom, my mind is so much on the radio that sometimes even in activities I will put radio station or sounding and things that you get from the radio. You just add it to your classroom and just work it that way.
Okay. How many people do you control?
That is a really funny question, but I know that it's about the radio, no? Because I do not control anybody, but on the radio I have, when I am on vacation, I control a whole lot of people. I have news from 6:30 in the morning until 12. So I control those people in the morning, and then when I shift I shift to evening terms, then I have people controlling from 2 o'clock until 10 in the night. So those are the people that I control on the radio.
So you do control people anyhow.
Yeah.
Okay. No, controlling there on the radio, you have a whole universe of knowledge that comes in.
Right.
Because, I go there and I do my program for an hour or 2 hours. Okay, and you have been there controlling my program, right? Controlling for me, whatever you want to say. And then George comes in and he does his program again, another hour, and he talks very important things and whatever. And then Jane comes in and another hour, and you are right there just observing all this knowledge, all these things, all this information, right?
Yeah.
So being there, it's a very, very interesting job doing controlling, right? Okay. But all these people, they are your boss, right? They tell you what to do. They tell you when to stop. They tell you when to start again, when they want to start, when they want to cut, just like what we're doing here. Okay? So, all right. Okay, we're going now to break, and then when we come back, we are going to talk about how much do you know? At a given time, there was a slave revolt in San Andres. What is the name of the section where the slave revolt was?
Cocopom Beach.
Yeah, I heard you all rehearsing that hard, so I know you will get it there. Mr. Angelo, please tell us the name of one traditional game of the Rizal culture.
Plat pole.
Plat pole is good. Mr. Listel Stevenson and Mr. Valdez Livingston were well known for doing this activity. Abelardo.
Question no keti.
Mr. Listel Stevenson and Mr. Valdez Livingston were well known for doing this activity? That was cooking, please. In 1957, some men won a great sport performance and winning a gold or a medal, just a medal, for the islands in Colombia. What sport was that?
Baseball.
Baseball. This baseball team, Angelo, won a medal for the islands in 1957. What city did they play? What was the city?
Cali. Cali. Cali.
Okay. What was the name of the tournament in which San Andres baseball team won a medal in 1957? Abelardo?
Tournament that
What was the name of the tournament?
in regional games.
Huh? It was Juegos Nacionales. Kenya. Clarence Lynn Newball McLaughlin is the name of a very important service center today. What is that center?
The hospital.
The hospital, the hospital. Okay. Yeah.
What I know about the Raizal people and the Raizal society is basically that we are, as people and as society, we were Afro-Anglo-Caribbean people. What that means? Afro, we descend from African slaves. Caribbean, because we were ubicated in the islands of the Caribbean, and Anglo, because the mother language, mother culture that we have, or the conqueror, in this case, were British. So we had a different culture and the mainland that finally we come to be part of. What I want to try to say with this is that we were different. The island was connected totally with Afro-Caribbean or Anglo culture. United States in first place, we were linked to Jamaica, Barbados, Belize, the Anglo-Caribbean culture of the Nicaraguan coast that they call the Mosquito Coast, and others territory. But we were totally different in which sense? Our culture, our custom, our behavior, our principles were based on, in first place, the Bible. Remember, the emancipation was a process not only freeing the body or the state or the status of the Negroes on this island, was also freeing their mind, because there were three components in the emancipation: the freedom of the slave, the education, and also delivering property so that he could be productive. In that sense, we were self-sufficient. We were based on the principles that the Bible taught us. That was the common element that we use for everything that a society should require to survive.
All right, we're back here now, and we are about to sign off. And before we sign off, we want to remind you that we were accompanied here by Professor Linacio Myles, who have been one of the trainer or the coach for our kids that participated in this very important project of How Much Do You Know? Professor Linacio, nice for having you.
Thank you again. Thank you one more. And we hope, and I hope that you that are listening, you will make use of all the knowledge of how much do you know, because I have already made some use of it.
Okay, see you later, alligator. Unu Babylon system is just fire. La Aya. They take away the sea, we have to eat papaya.